Hello everyone, my name is Shane, and in this video, we're going to be doing an unboxing, and I'm going to give my first impressions on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5. This phone is available for pre-order at the time of this video. I'll have some links in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. The retail price is $1,000. This phone comes in 8 different colors. We have lavender, cream, mint, this graphite color we're going to be checking out here today, and then there's 4 Samsung exclusive colors, including yellow, green, blue, and gray. Also comes in 2 different storage configurations, 256 gigabytes and 512 gigabytes, which is a free upgrade during this pre-ordering time phase. And Samsung's also offering some really good trade-in values. So my Flip 4 from last year, I'm going to trade this in to get $900 towards the Flip 5 that I personally ordered for myself. And I also found a $50 promo code, which I'll have down in the description to get some really good savings on this. But let's go ahead and check out the Galaxy Z Flip 5. Super excited to check this one out with you guys, and shout out to Samsung for sending this phone out ahead of time. Inside the box, we have some paperwork, we have a SIM ejection tool, and we have a USB Type-C to Type-C charging cable. First impressions immediately out of the packaging, really liking this graphite color here. Of course, on the top, we have an entirely black finish since we're going to be getting that new and improved 3.4-inch outer display, which we'll definitely check out here in a minute. Have a very nice, slim, streamlined device and profile here overall compared to the Flip 4. You can see here on the Flip 4, there's a very sizable gap, and they have cleaned that up entirely here. On the Flip 5, there's maybe the most subtle bit of gap there, and our hinge size is also slimmed down once again. This has been happening generation after generation, but again, we have a great refinement here on the Flip 5. It's just very streamlined and slim, whereas it just seems a bit more chubbier and sticking out here on the Flip 4. As far as the weight goes, let's check here, 190 grams versus 189, 188 grams on the Flip 4. But it is significantly trimmed down, which just gives you a much nicer and cleaner feel in the hand overall. What is going to be the right side here when you have it opened up? You have your fingerprint sensor with the power button built in. You have our volume rockers, which it's nice that you can easily access this when you have the phone closed. On the bottom, we have 2 mics, our Type-C port capable of 25-watt super fast charging, one of our 2 speakers here on the bottom. On the top, we have another mic. We have our SIM tray over here, and we have our 5G antenna. And here's our first look at the 3.4-inch external display on this Flip 5. It is a massive improvement over the previous generation Flips. I really honestly never even used these 1.1-inch displays on these Flips. It was more so just the timepiece, just to see what time it was and the date. But there are so many use cases and possibilities with this outer display that I'm super excited to jump into. But since I can't really access this outer display yet for you guys, I'm going to go ahead, put my SIM card into this phone, put all my applications on it, use it for the day, and I'll come back with my first impressions on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5. Alright, so it's actually been a couple of days now since I first got my hands on this phone. I'm definitely ready to share some of my first impressions with you guys, starting with getting into the phone, the biometrics. I absolutely love the side-mounted fingerprint sensor. Just gets you into the outer display super easily, just kind of a natural feeling in your hand. The thumb's going to lay right on it. And then as far as getting into the phone, it is very seamless to just open this right up, put your thumb on the fingerprint sensor, and it gets you in every single time. And you quickly build the muscle memory to just flip this open and just lay your thumb right in that same spot every time. There is also face recognition on this, but I just find that it's more consistent and reliable to quickly flip this open and lay your thumb right on that sensor. And once we're in and unlocked, we are greeted with the new 3.4-inch outer display. And I have thoroughly enjoyed this outer display over the past couple of days. This is a true full screen look at this 3.4-inch display. I found that a lot of widgets and things kind of have stuff blacked out in the bars and bezels. And this area down here is very useful for various things. So if you start a timer, for example, go back to the home screen, you have a little timer down here, and you can press on that anytime to go back to it. Now, with that said, if you didn't notice already, a lot of these interfaces are widgets that Samsung designed specifically for this outer display. They want to have a more tailored experience for you for this outer display rather than just give you your regular phone. I think they envision people using this outer display to just quickly reference things throughout the day. If they have some messages or notifications, you can just quickly come over to this panel, and you can also interact with these. So it's really nice. You can just come in and read full entire emails. emails. If you want to reply to a text message, we can now do that on this outer display as well, which is really nice. And being able to do all these basic things without ever opening up your phone and potentially getting distracted by games or social media or various applications and things. Of course, we can organize these in any order we want to, similar to Samsung watches as well. And it is super easy with the swipe gesture to navigate through them. So for example, if I want to get to my text messages, I don't have to scroll through 6 interfaces every single time to do that. I can just simply swipe with 2 fingers and it's going to open up all of my widgets here on my Flip 4. You can do similar things as you can on the Flip 5 as far as setting timers and things like that, but it was just so small. And then when you would want to check out more information, you have to open the phone to continue. You would always get kind of that roadblock. Whereas here on the Flip 5, if I come over to weather, for example, and I want to see, okay, what's more of the information that this look like? I can just scroll down, check out this weather just like I would the normal weather app. And then there's even more added benefits as far as having the great viewfinder on the front here for the pictures and videos, which we'll definitely get into that later in the video. And then having this display paired alongside the 6.7-inch inner display is what makes this phone so exciting to me. So similar to the Fold 5, not a whole lot of screen changes in itself, but the physical changes happening around it are honestly such a huge deal on this Flip 5. I cannot stress enough how enjoyable it is to just quickly open and close this phone. The opening and closing experience is really smooth. The best way to describe the new folding experience on the Flip 5 is it seems like Samsung took the best of the Flip 3 and the Flip 4, where the Flip 3 I think had an excellent opening and closing experience. It just opens and closes so easily, especially when you close it. It just closes right up with your index finger. And the Flip 4 kind of lost that opening and closing charm because it's just way more rigid. But the benefit of the Flip 4 is that it was built very solidly, has a great feel in the hand, has a very much premium design to it. Samsung took these 2 very strong selling points and molded them into what we have now here on the Flip 5. See, we have that still very nice premium, kind of shiny, glossy, very sturdy feel in the hand, but also still comfortable in the hand. And then opening and closing this phone is just so buttery smooth. It is so important to have a fluid opening and closing experience while also giving us the peace of mind that this is a very structurally sound device that is going to hold up very well over time. And then of course the primary benefit of having all of this is that we still have a great 6.7-inch display with us at all times. One of the things I love the most about this inner display is that it's more narrow than your conventional smartphones. Historically, the Galaxy Flip phones are the ones that I reach for the most, even though I have access to all these other Samsung devices with much wider and more vast and impressive displays. It's because we're getting it in this very compact package and it's just so easy to jump into it at a moment's notice. And we still have a great AMOLED 1080p 120 hertz. There is most certainly enough here as far as getting a very enjoyable main display experience. It's not really compromised because of it being a foldable phone. I know in all these videos, the crease is always showing if you shine it in the right light, but when you have this phone facing straight towards you, you will never notice that crease. And because we have a taller phone here, this is a great device for social media. Last night, I got very quickly drawn into watching some YouTube shorts for an hour or so, just because it's so nice to hold this phone in the hand. It does have a little bit of limitation. If you're watching a YouTube video, for example, you get a lot of black bars, but I feel that the nice feel in the hand and the very loud speakers make up for a little bit smaller of a screen, and it definitely gets the job done in a pinch. Jumping into the cameras, we have a dual lens setup here. We have our standard lens in addition to a wide angle lens. And while I wish it had a little bit beefier of cameras, a bit higher specifications, at the same time, this is one of the phones that I use the camera on the most. So enjoyable to quickly open this up, double press the power button, and it's so nice to hold this in the hand when filming video and taking pictures and things. And the added functionality of being able to use the cover screen as a viewfinder as well for other people that you're taking a picture of. It's just so nice to be able to have your subjects see what is going to be happening when you're taking a picture of them. And it is so nice to have a huge viewfinder now if you want to be taking selfies. This feature was always available on the Samsung Flips, but with the 1.1-inch display, you could just barely see what you're taking a picture of, especially if you're holding the phone far away from you. It's so nice to be able to tap anywhere on the screen to take your picture, and you can easily swipe over to switch over to video, and you can also just quickly go and reference what you were just filming. I'm also very impressed with the video quality here. You're able to film in 4K 60, very smooth and good looking pictures picture. This is again just such a great feature to have with you whenever you're out on the go, to be able to quickly film and capture things in that 4K 60 resolution. So while on a spec sheet it might seem like, oh, I wish there was more with these cameras, there is so much versatility here. And again, for the average everyday use, it is such a great experience. And that is the recurring theme that I found year over year with these Galaxy Flips. It is one of the most fun phones to use on an average everyday basis. And I'll be the first to admit that I didn't quite understand this flip phone form factor when it first came out. I almost skipped the first Galaxy Flip because of it, but I decided to try it out. I immediately got hooked to it. It is one of those devices that you truly appreciate once you start using it in your everyday life. We're getting a lot of great enhancements to this flip device. And then on the inside, we're also getting the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, which is going to greatly improve the efficiency and the battery life of this Flip 5. I don't want to jump into any final conclusions on the battery just yet in this initial video, because my first 2 days of usage, I only got about 5 hours of screen on time. I definitely want my phone to learn my usage patterns, and I was also using the Flip at maximum brightness for most of the time, which will drastically reduce your battery life, and I also found this to be the case on the Fold 5 with the same processor. So definitely check out my short-term review coming up with this Flip 5, where we'll get a little more in-depth with the battery life. But overall, first impressions with the Galaxy Z Flip 5, I am super impressed with this phone initially here. I think this is going to be a very easy recommendation to upgrade just because of the trade-in incentives alone. You can get $900 for a Flip 4, and this is a very worthy upgrade for this outer display alone. But just having a great average everyday user experience as far as the opening and closing goes, the great processor, I think this phone is going to be a huge win for a lot of people out there looking to get into a foldable phone or to upgrade a previous generation Flip. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5 down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the Shane Simons YouTube channel today, because next up we have the official case lineup for the Flip 5, and I'm also going to do a case lineup video for the Fold 5, so definitely stay tuned for that. Feel free to check out those videos next. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.